Good day, YouTube. How is it going? It is a good day indeed. The sun is out, the birds are singing, maybe, and the exams are over, so I'm feeling good at the moment. I thought, what better way to start the holidays than to bring you a commentary against a guy called Dracomaster, and I have uploaded a couple of times against him before, and I think it's been a good match every time, so, you know, looking at the teams, we've both got, I think it's pretty close to PU, although I'm pretty sure that Miltank and Electabuzz are NU, but it's close enough to PU to be honest. But things I'm worried about are the Shiftry and the Arbok if it gets set up, so just going to watch out for that. First turn, going to go ahead and lead off with my... Well, he leads off with Electabuzz. I think first turn I lead off with my, let's see, because I've forgotten, Shiftry, of course, why not? Shiftry is not a lead I want against this thing because it can get HP Ice or Focus Blast, so first turn I'm instinctively going to switch to Kenny. I assume he predicts this, or he just wants to Volt Switch on anything, so he goes for a Volt Switch. It's, you know, not too big a deal on Kenny, he can take it pretty well, but it does mean I am threatened out by the incoming Solrock, which could easily take me out in one hit. However, I do know that Solrock does get Earthquake despite being a flying thing, which... does that even make sense? I guess there's a few flying Pokemon that get Earthquake, but... yeah, I go into my own Solrock because it's got Levitate and, you know, just going to go for a Will-O-Wisp on this guy. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but it turns out his Solrock is a Life Orb set, so that's definitely going to be helpful in stopping his killing potential. Now Miltank comes in. I was very, very close to going for a double Will-O-Wisp, but I thought, just go for Stealth Rocks, why not? He doesn't have a spinner, so I may as well get them up there and, you know, get some residual damage going. Now I make a switch, go into my Spinder. I think I assumed Heal Bell straight away, and then I was going to, like, try and set up with some superpowers, but no, it turns out he goes for Toxic, which is fine. Spinder, like, I don't think I have Heal Bell on this team, but I can hopefully, like, copycat Heal Bell at some point. In comes Pelipper. Gonna take my superpower really well, because as you guys have seen in my previous videos, Pelipper is a monster wall. Everyone calls it Nigel as well. It is the perfect name for a Pelipper. By the way, quick note, if anyone's looking for gameplays of mine where I use like a specific Pokemon, if you just search Pyrotoz and then the name of the Pokemon you're looking for, because I always put them as tags, like all the Pokemon I use, they will be tags in the video, so it will come up in the YouTube search. And I'm not the kind of guy who adds like every possible tag to every video just to, you know, enhance views or whatever. I'll put relevant tags, so if you want to find some specific Pokemon, if I've done it, it will be in the videos if you search for it, so that's that. Gonna Rock Slide the Pelipper, doesn't do much. I probably should have known this was a bad idea because we're both super effective against each other, but he's physically defensive and I have a physically offensive move, so, you know, it's definitely not a situation I want to be in, so gonna get out of there, hopefully save the Son of God for later on. I don't know if that's my defensive set or not. Well, it must be if I have Will-O-Wisp. I have two Solrocks called Son of God. One's like an explosive, rock slide, offensive thing. The other one is just defensive purely, so... gonna go to your boy Kenny, spin away those rocks as he knocks off my Eviolite. Not too big a deal, as I can't imagine Kenny living much longer anyway. He never does. Now he pulls a switch. Goes out into his Solrock once again. I believe I'll just go for a layer of Toxic Spikes just because it seemed like a good move. No, I lie. I go for a knockoff. I guess he has the Arbok, so Toxic Spikes wouldn't be too useful anyway, so... knock off that thing's Life Orb. I believe it could probably still kill me with any single hit, but I'm going to go for a Scald right here, hoping to kill this thing. I actually thought he'd just kill me off, so I just clicked any random move, but... look at that! Crit Scald takes out the Solrock. That is the power of Kenny. Kenny's one step closer towards don't mess with Kenny. Video in the future in which I, you know, get a Masquerain set up to +6, Baton Pass out into Tentacle, and just hope they have nothing like Seismitoad to wall me, but... yeah, I'm gonna go out to Solrock. I felt like I should do this because I wanted to spin away the rocks later on, as I do have... I don't know if I have any flying types weak to it, but I definitely do not want the extra damage on Mightyena and Shiftry, whatever, so... now I switch, go to Combusken. Shiftry can't really do anything to Combusken unless it has the extra sensory, which I've never seen before. I do use it occasionally on my Shiftries, but it's not a move you see too often. He goes for Hidden Power. I guess that was HP Ground or something, but now I've got the +1 speed, I can easily outspeed a Shiftry. So I go for Fire Blast. That's going to hit the incoming Pelipper. That does some pretty good damage. Pelipper's not so great on the special side, so as long as I hit the second one, that thing's dead. Don't have to worry about it walling me anymore. Now Combusken, once he gets a couple of speed boosts, you know damage is going to be caused. So I think all he has left after this are like Electabuzz, which I now outspeed, the Shiftry when it comes back in, and like one other, I think. So it is looking like Combusken can potentially get some kind of sweep going here. However, one thing I did forget about was the Miltank, which is still hanging around, and I have Focus Blast, so as long as I hit, and it's not especially defensive set, I can take this thing out, no problemo. Miltank runs any number of sets nowadays, now that you've got like Sap Sip and Miltank, so I guess most people run the offensive set nowadays. But Sap Sipper seems to be the best ability to go for in any case, so whatever. In comes the Arbok. Arbok has Sucker Punch, but he's definitely not taking me out from that kind of range, so if I just go for Fire Blast, that's going to do some heavy damage. Hopefully just take this thing out, but you do from time to time see Arboks which are like max special defense, max HP. It doesn't look like this thing is because it would have taken that better, but Arbok does actually have some decent bulk. Goes for a Coil. Now this I'm quite worried about because I've been pretty lucky hitting all my moves so far, so I'm thinking if this is the turn where I miss an attack, this Arbok could potentially sweep me, so he goes for a Sucker Punch, doesn't kill me, that's fine, I can now go for a Fire Blast. I do miss, which is unfortunate. Now the Arbok actually has a chance to take me out. I go for Mirror Move for no apparent reason, and then, you know, all the while he's getting back lefties, and he does take me out here with a Sucker Punch, so we got a +1 Arbok standing in here. Don't know what kind of EV spread it is, but likelihood is it has Sucker Punch, Gunk Shot, and Earthquake as its moves. But I figure Shiftry does outspeed a Arbok if it's like... Well, I think I'm modest, so naturally I wouldn't outspeed, but if it is running the like standard coil set, it's probably a lot slower than my Shiftry, so just go for an extra sensory, take it out from there. Electabuzz comes in. Now we're just down to Electabuzz and his last, which is his own Shiftry, I believe. So I go to Kenny. Every Kenny has his time to be sacrificed, and the time is now, my friends. Gonna die to a T-Bolt, and... oh man, there was no better death fodder for Electabuzz there. Because it does mean that I can now bring in my Mightyena. Mightyena takes the rocks damage, but even so, I can probably take a T-Bolt as long as he's not choice specs, which I doubt. I don't see that too often on Electabuzz, but take the T-Bolt, gonna go for a Crunch, and that does a pretty good amount of damage, to the point where I don't think it can actually switch in again to Stealth Rock, so I instinctively go for a Sucker Punch, thinking he's not gonna switch out, but he did make the good play there in switching out, because had he stayed in, he would have died to Sucker Punch, and I would have got my Moxie boost, so definitely do not let Mightyena get a Moxie boost if you're up against it. So in comes the Shiftry, go for a Sucker Punch just because I may as well get some damage on it. Now the problem here is my two remaining Pokemon are slower than... Well, to be honest, they're probably both slower than both his team. That Shiftry is more than likely faster than mine, I think I'm modest. But in any case, I don't really have anything to hit it with. I have Extra Sensory, Dark Pulse, Giga Drain. However, it turns out he doesn't have anything to hit me with either, so... Great, I can go for a Tailwind. I just about survived that. I got enough HP for one more hit left in me, so I just go for a Dark Pulse. That's gonna almost take him out, but the key point is I got up the Tailwind. Everyone knows that Shiftry is one of the best Tailwinders in the tier. Why does no one use Tailwind? Please explain. It's a great move just for setting up on slow stuff like, you know, Spinder, Mightyena, whatever. Because now I outspeed both the Electabuzz and the Shiftry. I'm +2 speed. Go for that Copycat Dark Pulse for the style points, I guess, or in case he had Sucker Punch, maybe. Because I don't think Copycat actually counts as an attacking move, so that saved me many a time, believe me. Now in comes the Electabuzz once again. If it is Choice Scarfed, I'm still not entirely sure if I outspeed or not, so I'm going to have to go for Sucker Punch. But it doesn't come down to that because he does indeed die to rocks. So Spinder, looking at the final victory scene there. Didn't really do much, but I put the victory down to Combusken and Shiftry, who were definitely the star players. That Spinder, though, I definitely want to try and get a sweep of that sometime. It's the standard, like, Sucker Punch, you know, superpower with a contrary thing going on. And then I've got Substitute and Copycat as well, just for the lulz. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the match. Hopefully a lot more content to be coming soon. I believe the Battle Finder is back up. And of course I got a lot more free time, so this is excellent for my channel. Hope you all enjoyed the match. And with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.